Hello and welcome back to day 22 of 100 days of code. I have to apologise because it's late again, and I know it's late. It's a busy period of the year, and I will be picking up the slack by doing more videos, building up tutorials, being more active in that, and also the Discord server is not up yet. I promised it would be up this weekend, but again, it's been a busy time and I've been really behind on everything, so I'm trying to catch up. Hopefully you guys aren't too mad. If you are mad, let me know and I'll try and apologize in some sort of way. The Discord server I'm going to get all set up tomorrow morning. I'm going to wake up early, I'm going to get all set up just before I head to work, and then after work I'm going to send a video out to everyone. That won't replace the enough worth the 100 days of code videos. That'll be a separate video just so you guys have that, so you know it's up and running, and I'll also probably mention it in my next 100 days of code video, and the links will be in the description from there on. But for now it's not set up, and we'll get it set up hopefully as soon as possible. Okay guys, so in day 22 we are now on to the next section. This is the design file I'm working from, by the way, so this is what I've created and drafted up in Adobe XD. As you can see here, so in this about section, you can see I've changed it. There used to be bubbles which was floating around out here. I've changed the bubbles to be bubbles with social media icons in them, which will be links. We will do this in a separate video, probably like a double upload. But for now, we are working on the projects page, and actually we're going to use some sort of grid system here. We're going to be using CSS Grid to make a really cool grid. So that's the projects there. Again, you can see the rest of the page here. There's not much to it yet, but we'll go over each page on the day when we get around to fixing it. So for now, let's head over to, so for starters, we're using Surf. If you don't know what Surf is, it'll be in the first it'll be in day 20 of 100 days of code, and probably previous videos too. We're also using Koala to compile our Sass. That is basically it. That's all we need to run this server and to get everything sorted. So let's crack on. So in this bit, we're going to create a new section, and we're going to give it a class of section and the ID of projects. And then we're going to give it a data color for our navbar and stuff, and we'll give it dark so it knows that it needs to make sure the navbar is dark. Next up, we're going to have H2 with a heading, and this is going to be, what we go say, this is going to be projects. Now if we save and we refresh here and we scroll down to projects, as you can see it says here projects is invisible, and it also has a line there because we need to set up the CSS Grid system for it. So in our main.sass we need to go to actually first we need to go to further down here, where's section. So in section we have heading. I did move heading from their thing into here like I said I would. And we have grid column 2 to 3, so 10 its span over 2 and 3. We just need to set up the actual grid. It's always the same. I feel like it's always the same, and it always will be the same. Yeah, we're going to move the rows, this whole thing into the section part of this. So in section we're going to put in just down there, I'm guessing, the display, and we're going to remove it from about as well. Okay, it's the exact same. I think it's the exact same. Section. Why is this one free FR and this one auto 150? You know, I think auto 150 works, but let's just see if it breaks our about bit. No, our about looks fine. Okay, no, everything looks good. I'm happy with that. Let's continue. So now in this bit we need to now set the heading color. So where are we here? So we actually want to go and say in here, I guess we need to move this to the bottom quickly. We're going to move this whole bit just so it makes it simpler, just underneath heading, because now we want to say in here, we want to say dot heading, and we're going to say color. If it's odd, it's going to be dark, right? Oh no, wrong way. So if it's odd, it's going to be primary. If it's not odd, it's going to be dark. Let's refresh. Let's scroll. So about projects. There we go. So now that's more dynamic. So even though if we create more sections, it will cater for those sections. So that was just a little pre section. So let's go down to the bottom here and create the project section. And again, we don't need to do much with this except from we need to set up inside here something called the project grid. Oh, what did I do that for? And the project grid will have multiple projects. So we're going to say project times 7. Yeah, 7. And then these are all going to be different. So each one of these will have, projects, and then inside those will have H3s. And inside the first H3 it's going to say advertise here. In the second one, so if we go back to design, we're going to have Fab Rugby. So we're going to say Fab Rugby. And now if we go back and we refresh, yeah, over on the right side you can see we've got all these listing there. That's nice. Let's create the actual grid in the CSS now for these. So, God, this is going to get annoying. We're going to say dot. Oh, hello. So we actually need to move this to section as well. What this does, I'll explain it once I paste it into section. Section. Where is this up here? Yeah, so this code up here basically says once it gets to mobile screen, set it to one column and make sure the heading spans across both, else the heading sits over to the right over here if not, and that is fine. And span 1 basically says without setting, so normally we'll do 1, 2, which say span across 1 and 2. What this means is just span across 1 depending on wherever you are, so that doesn't matter where you are. This will do the same thing if we just had 1, 2, but we want to say just span 2. And that's how we get it to go across on mobile. Okay, sorry. So now in projects, we want to say dot project. So in our SAS, we want to go dot project. Oh, that's not it. That's project. We want to say background. So we say each one is going to have a 414141 because we don't want it to be the same. We want to say display flex, justify content center, align items center, and then box shadow of 0, 3 pixels, 12 pixels, 0 pixels, RGBA 0, 0, 0, 0.5, and then down here we want to say, oh sorry, this is in the wrong section. We actually want a project grid. So actually, so we created the project grid. I didn't even realise I was doing the wrong one there. So that's set that up, but for now we want to go in here and we want to say grid column, and we want to say span 2 or 3, and then we want to say grid row span 2 or 3. We want to display this one as grid, and we're going to say grid template columns, and we're going to say repeat. So this is something we haven't done before. What repeat does is you set how many columns you want in this one, so we're going to say 4, and then we set how wide we want. We say 350 pixels. And it's the same with rows, so we're going to say rows, and we're going to say how many rows you want, which is 3, and we're going to set these ones to 196 pixels. And then we're going to say grid gap, and what this does is set a margin around your grid item, so you get a little pixel space. And then we're just going to say justify self center, align self center to make sure the grid is in the center. So now if we refresh, there we go, we've got those there, yeah, but that is not how we want it to be displayed. We want to go into our project, we want to say and col2, and we're going to say grid column span 2, so we want it to span over 2 if it's got that, and we want to say and dot row 2, and if it's got that we'll say grid row, and we're going to say span 2 because that's basically what it does. And that looks good. Let's go back to this now and set those up. So in here, it's going to say col2, fag rugby, we should say col2 and row2. Project, that snake game is going to be simple. This one's going to say row2. This one's going to be no, this one's not going to say anything. Pong game's not going to say it, and that's not going to say it. So if we save, this should now, boom, it's created our grid for us. So that looks awesome. I think that looks really nice. Compared to our design, it is pretty much the exact same. It allows spacing around. Okay, so now we need to get our images in there, and not only our images, we need to get our text floating. So now we want to say, there's a couple of things we want to do. We want to say to everything with which isn't an add file, we want to say class, and we want to say has project, because these are projects or is project. And then inside of our project, we want to say .is project, and we're going to say, are we going to say anything? Yeah, we're going to say opacity 0, and we're going to say color light. So this all setting up thing. We're going to say transition. Oh, actually, we're going to leave that for a sec. We're going to set the H3, and it's going to be position absolute, and we're also going to set the position for our project to be relative. In our H3, so yeah, and we want to say the width needs to be, width needs to be 100%, height 100%, no, that doesn't work. We want to say text align center, color, it's going to be equal to 55555, yep. Line height, we'll just set as 200 or 196 pixels, and our font weight we're going to set to 700. We're going to make sure this in some sort of neat order. There we go. And then in this project, we also want to say transition of opacity is going to be 0.2 seconds linear. We're going to say text shadow because we want it to have shadow. We're just going to give it 3 pixels, 3 pixels. We're going to set an RGBA of 3.5. There we go. Right, and now we want to go down here and say and hover. So when we hover on this, we want to say H3 opacity 1 display block and I think that is it. So if we come back here, we hover. Oh, that hovers it for all of them. If I put that in the wrong section, yes, I have. Sorry. Oh, have I? Wait, that should be in project grid. No, it should be inside of project. Oh, all of this is in the wrong section. Let's bring that all up. There we go. Now if we refresh and we hover, each one will be able to come up. That text is really small. What did we set the font weight to? The font size to? We didn't set the font size. That is an issue. We just want to say font size is equal to 38 pixels. There we go. Okay, everything's looking good. We are now missing the images. So to do the images, we're actually going to put an image or another div inside of this. And that div is going to be, so inside of the Fab Rugby, we're going to say .image, and then we're also going to set a style, and we'll say background image is equal to a URL, and we're going to say assets slash assets slash images slash project slash fabrugby.png. So I added a new folder inside of our images called projects, and with all the project images in there. And we're going to do the same for each one with the project. So we're going to say .image, and then we're going to copy this and paste that in and say snake and copy that and put it in a keynote and change that to a keynote. And same with Pong, we'll say Pong. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, that looks it. So now if we save and we refresh, nothing happens. Why does nothing happen? Because we have an act. We need a dot there, but we need to set a height and a width for this. Why is that doctor? Why are you the awkward one? So in here, we're now going to say dot image, and we're going to say dot image. It's got a width of 100%, height of 100%, a background position of center, because we're going to center the background. We're going to say background size of cover, which means it will cover the whole box, so there'll be no corner left uncovered. And we're going to say no repeat, or background repeat. Oh, hello. Background repeat equal to no repeat, although it doesn't matter with cover on. I don't know why I do that. And we're going to say transition. We're going to say filter 0.2 seconds linear. And then in the hover, we're going to say dot image, and we're going to say filter. And we're going to have a filter with saturate of 0, so we make it black and white. And then we're going to say blur 5 pixels. I feel that might be overkill, but we'll see. And then that is it. If we refresh, we've got our images in there, and if we hover over them, it does this little dark and back out effect, which I kind of like, although it would be better if the text was a bit more contrasty. Maybe. The grid is all done, that's looking good. We actually want to go into the H3 and say A, and we're going to say color inherit. Oh, not in. That's called color though. Inherit. And we're going to say text decoration none, because we're going to go add some links around each one of these H3s in here. Okay guys, so we just added an anchor tag literally around the text, and now if we go back in here, it's fine, it's just now clickable, so we can actually do it. And we're going to add an icon next to it when I add in an icon pack. We'll probably use Font Awesome, just so for a little, when you click it, it's going to take it tells you it's going to take you to an external page. We also need to set up this link quickly, so if we go back up to here and we just say, oh, project, sorry, I already set it up, did I? So if we go to about, projects, oh yeah, look, there you go. We're going to get some smooth scrolling in here, so when we click around, it takes us more to it's more smooth and not smooth. Projects, about, projects, YouTube, oh, projects. Okay, cool, so that's cool, but now, obviously, we're going to have some issues when we go to mobile. Oh wow, I thought that actually worked, and I was going to say, wow, that worked. So our mobile looks cool, but the problem is it doesn't look cool down here. So we're going to go into our code, and we're going to say inside of project grid, at the bottom, we're going to add in a media query. We're going to say and media screen, and max width is min width would work, but 1919 pixels, so just under 1920 pixels. We're going to say we're going to change the way the grid works. We're going to say grid template columns repeat, and we're going to say 4 by 300 pixels instead of 350, and we're going to say grid template rows is equal to repeat, and we're going to say 3 by 129 pixels. So again, we're using a repeat and just setting up this. These are 16 by 9 values between each other. That one's good, but now we want to say and media screen and max width. So you want to mess around with these a little if you want to get it perfect. I'm just getting it to the sections I like, how I like it to look. And we're going to say down here, and we're going to say 230 pixels by 112, I think. Oh no, this is 129, and this one's actually, I think it should be 168 pixels, because that's not correct. Yeah, that should be right. And then we're going to go dot project, because we want to get the project folder, and we want to say H3, and we will say font size equal to 32, because that will be way too big else. And how we want to go down again, there's a few media queries we need, as is with all websites which have fixed widths on things. We need 30 and 66 pixels. We want to say we want to copy this and paste that in, and we're going to say 200 by 112. Okay, I think we're almost done. We want to get this again because we want to shrink the text down even more, because else it's going to break. And we want to say 24 pixels. Okay, let's have a look what this is looking like. So let's move this to, let's say well, let's just go here. Let's go 1600 by 1024. I don't know, what is 1600? So if we go 1600 divided by 16 by 9, 900. So that is what a 16 by 9 site looks like on this. And that looks good. That's worked. The advertisement text fits in, the order text fixing, and it works. It's not overlapping this. Let's say 1366 is the next one with 768. And that looks good. That's looking good. But now 1280. This one's always a pain. And 720. It works. It's not broken. I feel like it's about to be though, right? I like it. It's kind of really cool. I love how the text changes here when you scroll. Such a cool feature. I love that. 1200. Good. So that still works where we added in last time. What about 1024? Okay, here we go. So this is where it starts getting broken. So 1024 is breaking on this right side. And I think what we need to do to fix that is in here. Where are we at? Yeah, so we see we have, is it at grid or is it at projects? I think it might be at projects. We want to swap out. So in our media, where are we? So if we go to our section, we have, this is our columns, and we want to remove this last one. We want it to then become so there's no more center in it. It's going to be slightly off center. So we're going to copy this and we're going to go back down to our projects, find that, and at the bottom we're going to say, and media screen, we're going to paste that in, and we're going to just remove that and going to say, and we're going to say, and max width off, what are we saying, 1024 pixels, right? So of 1024, we want to do that, right? Now if we refresh, okay, that looks like it worked. So let's have a look in our grids. If we go down to project grids, turn that on. Oh no, not project grid, section grid. Yeah, that no longer has a grid on the side, although there is no padding around this, and I kind of want some padding around this. So if we say padding, yes, padding 25 or 15 pixels, or 20 pixels, I think. No, that's actually broken it. Yeah, it has broken it. We don't want that on that. We want it on, if we copy this and we go in here, we want to say padding of 20 pixels. No, are you still not working? Is it pushed that one out? I don't like this when it does this. I don't like it. You know what? I think I have a solution. We're going to set this to 100. Maybe 125. Oh, this is... Yeah, that works. That's nice. There we go. So that's how we're doing that section. And now, what we got? What's our next one? We're going to have to look at the 10-inch iPad, which is horrific. Let's fix that. So if we go sideways, what did we come off with if we refresh? Sideways, there we go. Just a little bug with Firefox there. Yeah, if we go sideways, it works, that's fine. But if we are now portrait, we cannot. So I'm saying, what, 960? Yeah, let's go in here and give it enough one. So this one, what is this? This is project grid. Ooh, yeah. And we go at media screen and max width of 960 pixels. We're going to say, we'll shrink it. Do we shrink it down a bit, or do we make? What are we saying? 190, what, 190 divided by 16 by 9, 10, 106. Let's go 180, 1080. 1080 divided by 16 divided by 9 is 101. We'll do 101. Oh, and we need pixels at the end of that. Okay, let's have a look what that looks like. It fits in a 960 grid, but how does it fit on the 10-inch? It's still broken on the 10-inch. I don't think this side bit's gonna work. I think I know what we can do. Yeah, okay. We'll change this to 4, and we'll change this to 3. And hello. Okay, that's slightly good. Oh, but we've got a couple of errors. Let's have a look. So we actually need to set that to 5. There we go. So that has changed the grid slightly, and it's still kind of abstract, it's kind of different, but it works. I feel that works. Let's have a look without the grid on it, because it's kind of ruining how it looks. And I think the grid, oh, there we go, now we've got it properly in the center. I think the grid works, even though it's slightly distorted like these two on the side here. I think it's worked, and I think that'll work fine for this. We could have spanned that one across 3, but that would require just overkill, and if we wanted to change this later on when we get new projects, it's going to be harder. We kind of want to leave it to flow on its own. So I feel that well. Hello. I feel like that works. So that's good. Let's keep that. But now let's go down to, what is it, 768 pixels. Let's see what this looks like on the iPad. Because again, we now on the iPad, we want to go down here and say 768 pixels. We want to say just auto, right? Let's turn on the grid. Oh, wrong grid. That grid. No, I think it's just 1FR. Oh, that's broke it even more. Oh, is it because projects now has a second header, right? We're at 768. 1024 is fine. Oh, God, I hate when it does that. Here we go. 1024 is fine. Just down here is now broken. Why have we got double? Why have we got double? Tell me about it. Tell me what's going on through your brain today. Okay. It actually breaks it when I do 1FR. Why? Oh, it's because this is set to span across with 1FR, and then we gotta grab this and paste this inside this one. Oh, it is inside that one. And we say, what are we saying? Grid column 1FR. Or span 1. Sorry. Okay, that's worked, but now project, so we need to now say dot heading grid column span 1. Why is that not working? Grid column span. Yeah, look at that. That fixed it completely if we saw that. Why do you not want to work? What is your issue right now with me? What is your issue? So why is that heading overwriting this heading? Is this wrong? Where is this? Is this because it needs to be... Oh, okay. Again, that needs to be in here, not in. We had it in the wrong section. There we go. Let's fix that. Now we want to fix up our grid again. So we've set it to 1FR, but we want in here. We want to say grid rows 2 of 1 fractions, and then underneath we want to say 150 pixels by 5. Wait, so 1, 2. How 7 divided by 2, right? It's 4, 3.5, 4. Let's refresh. We need to say width 100%, right? No, why are you breaking? Okay. I'm listening. What just happened? Why did it just disappear? Where are we at? Oh, what? Oh, yeah, okay. So inside our project, we need to say and col2. We need to say grid column span 1 and grid row. Oh, and row 2 grid row span 1. So basically what we're saying is to only take up one block now. So that is that. That's nice. There we go. We got it. And we want to say in here. Is it in here or is it out here? I think it's out here. We're going to say padding of 20 pixels and then box sizing of border box. There we go. So that is the project section done for the iPad. I think that's worked out nicely. Again, everything still looks good. It looks good. It looks like it's going to work. Maybe we should make the font size bigger though in here again. So we're going to say H3 font size 32 pixels, maybe. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That works fine. Nice. That works, doesn't it? Yep. Okay. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is actually go on the iPhone now, and on the iPhone or on a small device, we're going to say under 640. We want to set it to 1, and we want to set the height of the whole thing to none. So if we go down here, we want to go at media screen, and we're going to say, actually we're just going to copy this, and we say if it's under 640, we're going to say we're going to say height auto, because we want it to then continue on. So if we refresh now, there you go, it's now no longer being annoying. And then we want to go into, we want to copy this same thing and go, where's that one? Here, and we want to say, we want to get this string template, and we want to say, I think 150 works, but we're going to set it down to 1 FR now. I think that'll work. There we go, it's kind of worked, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but now we need to set the actual 4 to 7. We want it to go across all the rows. Hey, there we go, so that is now working. Although it's no longer the same height as the page, it scrolls a bit longer, but that's the only different one we've had, so it looks slightly distorted down here, but otherwise it's fine, it looks right, it's worked. So that is Pong, Pong, Snake, and Fab, all good. Okay, so projects is done, I think. So our projects is now done, guys. If we come out of here and we come out of the responsive mode and let's refresh the page just to make sure everything's going good, and we hit the projects, we can now have a look at our project section. The grid is all done, the CSS is all done, everything is looking good, everything's working, it's responsive. To major view browser points, we could make it responsive by so it's using all the major ones like 1600, 1366 and stuff like that, and I think it would work for stuff in between, but at the same time we could have made it percentage based or fraction based to do a bit better than that. But I wanted to try and do I wanted to keep this grid looking as good as possible. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. This one was slightly different. This was very CSS Grid focused, and I think that might be good for a few of you. I think a lot of you would like that, so I hope you did enjoy that. If you did enjoy that, leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more or learn more, and you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. And if you are wanting to leave me some feedback on how I could do things better or stuff you want to improve on, what you want me to go over more, then drop your feedback in the comments below. Other than that, the Discord server is coming. Just prepare for it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.